Hello and welcome. This is Eagle Eye 621, and today I'm going to be showing you a quick upgrade you can do for your zero tick XP farms. This is an upgrade to unfreeze them when you have a chunk unloading error, and I will explain to you what's going on while we see it in action. What you see here are a bunch of different zero tick machines that have all been frozen, and I'm going to change the game speed now back on to the normal. And what you will see is that they will slowly start kicking back to life as you see them start to unfreeze themselves. And I will tell you what's going on. Now, Minecraft as a game has some issues between chunks and chunk unloading. If you go too far away from your farms while it's moving, or if you log out of your world, sometimes it can have an update issue and your redstone machines may break or freeze. This also applies to your rails and minecarts, which is why a lot of tutorials tell you should make sure to build these things within a single chunk, and sometimes you do need to turn things off before you walk away. But with your zero tick XP farms, you don't want to turn them off, and if you don't want to have to be bothered checking on them every time you come back in, this is a great little restart circuit. As you can see, they're all starting to turn on. So let me show you what is going on here by showing you what the circuit is and explaining to you how this works. This is a redstone ore, and it does something very interesting. If you look on your F3 screen right over here, you can see that it's set to lit as false. Now when an entity steps on this, you'll see it emit particles. And if you look at it on your F3 screen now, you will see that it is lit to true. And an observer can actually detect this. So if I stand on this, you'll see an output, which will turn that light on. Now, entities doesn't just mean players, it can also mean armor stands. So this will pulse roughly every 68 seconds, which is the average length of a random tick. And what I've done is add this circuit to the back of these machines. So you will see that we have a redstone block with an armor stand on it, an observer pointing into it, and then outputting into a repeater. Do note these repeaters are on 2 ticks. And when that clicks, you can see it will reset the system. Now this will mean that when your system does manage to turn itself off because of that unloading error, it will restart itself on average within about 70 seconds. It's technically 68.27 is the average. So now when you're setting up the circuit, be sure that the repeater is pointing at the block that otherwise has your lever on it. And that is true for this machine as well, because normally you'd have to come over and give this a flick in order to make this turn back on, but that's what this circuit is doing for you right now. There is a cheaper version. If you don't have Silk Touch, do note that this version can break. This version right here has been stable in all of my testing. It's completely resettable. You can leave it alone. This is a quick little dropper or dispenser setup, and what you do is you put junk items into here, and you put a wooden pressure plate with 2 redstone torches, and what happens is when this turns off, you can see right now, what will happen is if I pick up this item, it will pulse, which will turn this off, and then another item will spit onto this pressure plate. It is possible for this setup to freeze though, if you happen to unload the chunk at exactly the wrong moment, which is every 5 minutes, which is how long this takes to despawn. You do have to also continue to fill that up every so often. This can freeze and you may need to come and reset it yourself. This one won't. So now I can show you how to build these, and you will know I've turned the block sound off so you're not hearing the annoying pulsing on this. And this is how we build the zero tick machine. So let's get these into the inventory, and I will come over here, and we're just going to come up a couple of blocks into the air, and then we're going to come out one and then over and like this, and we want to put our redstone torches on either side of this block that's jutting out. We're going to put our dust on top of these, our sticky pistons facing in and over these redstone torches. We can add our regular pistons firing over and under these sticky pistons. And then we can put our sand down, but let's throw that lever on there first so it doesn't fire until we're ready. And zero tick machine. Now the way that these work for your XP farms is you put an observer facing down there with one more block up here and then a piston like so, and that does the harvesting as well. And now in order to put our reset circuit on, let's get rid of these. And let's come over here and grab this chest and make a clone. And we can get rid of that. And I am going to want just to have a block to help me space this out. And we can put a top half slab up here. We're going to have our repeater facing into this block. Put that on 2 ticks. We're going to come out 1 away. And then we point our observer into that. And we put our armor stand on top. And that's the whole circuit done right there. This will now automatically turn back on. Now in your actual world, this side is the output of the farm. So you're going to want to put it on the other side, assuming you build this the same way that I did in some of my other tutorials. And I will have a link to there. But if you went backwards, that's how you would do it there. And you're going to come across in here. Same idea. We're going to point this into this block right here. And we're going to take our redstone block, put it 2 away, so that we have room for our observer to face into it. And output right there. And again, we put our armor stand on. And then if you are building one of these, you will see that everything kicks to life. This will start to generate cactus, which I don't want it to do right now. And if it ever freezes, it will turn back on. Now, as for these, it works in the same way. You want to target this block, which has the lever on it. So let's clear out this inventory and get a copy of these, which is the other zero tick machine you see. And I'll come over here and we'll go up a little bit. And we're going to erase this. We put our half slab right there. I'm going to put the lever underneath again so that we can put our dust, a sticky piston facing this way. We're going to get our regular piston facing up and a block in front, and you will see it pulses. Now, as I said, in these particular ones do sometimes have this issue, so if you were building this yourself and you see this not firing, you'd move it somewhere else. But for the purpose of this example, it doesn't matter if this is a valid spot or not. We're going to do the same thing by adding this circuit right here. So again, I'll make a clone of that. I'll bring it over here and get that into the inventory. We're going to come from the other side and put down the half slab so that we can point our redstone repeater into it. Again, put that on 2 ticks. We're going to come out 1 extra block to give us a room to put the observer facing in. And then put your armor stand on top. And again, we now have a set it and forget it system. This will automatically check itself every 68.27 seconds to give it a quick 2-tick pulse, which will reset the system in case it does happen to freeze. And you can see that all of the machines have turned back on again, except for this one, which I think I had locked in the wrong position. But all of the machines are now active, and you don't have to worry about chunk unloading or anything of that nature because the system will kick back into place. You can use this circuit for any general timer you want. As I said, this works by putting a 1-tick output pulse every 68.27 seconds, and then you can feed that to whatever you need. In my single player world, I use this as part of a timing circuit for a very tiny sugarcane farm that I made. If you've found this video helpful, I would appreciate a like, and for more videos like this, be sure to subscribe. Thanks for stopping by.